Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome uh, Professor Vandna Luthra for this session. She is from Gargi College, New Delhi, and she has been working with IIPT very closely, very active IIPT life member. Also, IIPT is Indian Association of Physics Teachers. Now you know. She is also a recipient of Dinabandhu Sahu Memorial Award, which is given by IIPT to the best academic work. She has been working as professor in Gargi College. She availed prestigious Boycast Fellowship to work on gas sensing material at University College London, UK, and Raman Fellowship at State University of New York, Binghamton. On the development of nanomaterials for energy applications, she has been visiting researcher at UCL UK. A physics research laboratory at Gargi College has been set up, which is being used for supervision of PhD students as well as UG students under various schemes and summer projects. The facilities include synthesis of many functional materials and characterization techniques. 5 students have been awarded PhD under her supervision. She has been recipient of Meritorious Teacher Awards by NCT, Government of Delhi, one of the 4 digital literacy champions by Campus Open Learning, University of Delhi, Edinburgh College, Scotland, and visited Edinburgh College, UK as a part of the program. She is the recipient of the IPT Dinabandhu Sahu Memorial Award, which I mentioned. She has completed research projects funded by DST, 3 innovation projects by University of Delhi. She has received Teaching Excellence Award for Innovation and Best Innovative Idea of by Delhi University for one of the innovative project GC204. He has completed UGC UKIERE Thematic Partnership Award, which facilitated exchange of faculty members and 4 PhD scholars from India and UK on the development of nanomaterial-based gas sensor. She is also engaged in organizing range of activities under Science Society grant under the aegis of National Academy of Sciences India Science Society program. She has completed various levels of training, 3 levels of training about the research-based pedagogical tools, training given by ISER, Pune, and she has also conducted regional workshops in different parts of India under this. She has trained about 300 undergraduate teachers. She has acted as a resource person for mentoring and guiding UG students selected nationally. She has been incorporating many approaches of active learning for physics. She has published more than 38 papers in international journals of repute, 5 book chapters, e-lessons, reviewer with many international journals, and has been physics coordinator for Star College team in her college. She has acted as section judge, panelist, keynote speaker at international conferences. She is a member of IIP and Institute of Physics UK. She has been a resource person for teachers training workshops for interfacing physics experiment for 300 plus teachers selected from different being organized IUAC. She has been constantly encouraging students to own a mug scheme and awareness about e-waste and plastic waste collection and disposal among many others. Recently, she has contributed a lesson plan for climate change to TROP ICSU and is keenly involved in training and effective pedagogical and digital literacy tools in the various fields and is nominated to participate as master trainer for effective pedagogy for science and technology cluster under the Office Principal Scientific Officer to Government of India. She has won second prize in National Essay organized by IIPT. Recently, she has acted as a course coordinator and resource person for a course on demystifying quantum computing for school students and beyond. She has delivered many invited talks and acted as a resource person for computational physics in Python and Scilab, astronomy, and has trained many students and teachers across the country. She has penned down many poems also on topics as hope, light, beauty of nature, etc. we have very versatile personality with us. Gargi madam, I have worked with in our earlier summer programs, and she has taught computational physics through Scilab, and there were very excellent student response in our sessions. So we're happy to have you, ma'am, here in this course. And the reason, now she is working in astronomical calculations. I mean, because as a good teacher, she caters to various students, and she has been giving these kind of computational projects to her students in astronomy area as well. So welcome, ma'am, and session is you can start.
Thank you so much, Maheshji, and all the team members for organizing such a wonderful winter school. And I'm thankful to everyone who is deeply involved in this and all the participants. I welcome you all in this session, and I take permission to share my screen and begin the session. So I am doing that now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes. So I can pull this bar downside and I can go in the present mode. Just a moment. So, the title of today's talk is Exploring SDSS Data Through Spreadsheets from Basics to Applications. And in this, these words by Carl Sagan are going to be always relevant that somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. And that this is especially true in the case of astronomy. Plethora of data is being generated, so many images are being observed by so many other observatories, telescopes, and and that someone can always look for newer things, and that someone can be any one of us. So, in this regard, an overview is going to be part one, which will be introduction to Google Sheets, its key features. We will be looking at built-in functions and plotting and curve fitting because these are integral part of any data analysis. In part two, we will be talking about an overview about SDSS and data, how to actually navigate through data and obtain data from SDSS alongside hands-on practice on analyzing SDSS data with spreadsheets. And in this case, we are going to look at Google Sheets as spreadsheets. And I will be mentioning that we can always work on Excel or GNU Sheets for this sake. But today I have chosen Google Sheets to begin with. And we will be doing color analysis. And way forward should open ways for more and more case studies which can be taken by all the participants as a research project, research problem, or just for the sake of exploring new and new data. So in this regard, the part one is going to be spreadsheets. And as I mentioned, we are going to talk about Google Sheets. Why Google Sheets? Because every one of you who has got a Gmail account is also having a Google Sheet or Google Workplace for you to work on. It is a free web-based spreadsheet software that is a part of Google Workspace app, and it allows collaboration between users online as well as offline access, and it is available for a variety of devices. Suppose we are working on a mobile or on desktop or on a laptop, the data which we are working on can be easily opened and one can always do sharing in this regard. It is also good to know about the other features of basically Google Sheets. So it is simple to learn and use. The user interface is clear and intuitive. Documentation and many resources are also available. and it allows seamless collaboration because any sheet which if it is shared with the participants, many people can work at the same time, and in that the users with Google account are able to use Google Sheets at no cost, and it is versatile for many applications, and applications are actually endless for STEM education, for finance, education, medicine, and statistics, etc. So let us proceed further. In this regard, if I compare Microsoft Excel with Google Sheets, so Microsoft Excel may have advanced functionality, greater data visualization options, more customization, and offline access. But it is expensive if you're using a legal version or a licensed version. It is having a revision history which is more difficult, and collaboration because you would need a OneDrive for syncing with multiple devices. Whereas if we compare it with the Google Sheets, it is free, easy to learn and use, built-in revision history is there. It has got a Google Drive integration, which all of us get in case we are having a Gmail account, and it allows seamless collaboration. Limited data visualization and customization may be there, but it is improving day by day. And limited functions and formulas are there, but all those are very useful. And we will have a hands-on on this in the forthcoming time. How much can we imagine how much data in a spreadsheet or a workbook can be there? On a single sheet, we can use multiple sheets also. And by default, on a single sheets, when we are talking, there are approximately 1,000 rows and 26 columns, which makes on a sheet 26,000 cells. So if it can handle 10 million cells, so it means that there can be many sheets, approximately 200 individual sheets on a single workbook up to which we can handle data. And the maximum value can be 1.79 into 10 to the power 308, which is a very enormous number. And we may try to work out whether we get an answer for 100 raised to the power 200 or not as an exercise. So in this regard, moving further on, it looks like a Excel sheet only with the functionalities like it has got file, edit, view, insert, format, data, tools, add-ons, and help. So we can do undo, redo. We can take a printout of a selected portion. We can, as soon as you open a Google Sheet, it is untitled spreadsheet. So we can name it according to our requirement. We can insert different symbols in that, and number formatting can be there according to the number of decimal points which we need by putting this arrow sign on the right side or on the left side of a given number. The number formatting can be in the form of numerical, in form of date, in form of many other formats it can be there. And text formatting options are also there, and cell formatting options are there. So I think we will be having a hands-on on this, so that will always, and I assume that everyone knows about these things. So we can, I think, put more time on learning the scientific formula rather than on doing these, because that can always be learned by all the users. So other than this, we can always see that one can insert a link inside. We can insert a chart. Chart is the important thing which we are going to use in plotting, and the functions. So built-in functions can be called by using this summation sign. And also we can have inserting of the chart would mean that we can do plotting, and that chart can be called by this wizard, by this icon, or we can always go to insert and basically bring a chart inside. But other than that, there are many other things which are available in insert, and that we will also look into. We will be interested to use the built-in functions which are available with a Google Sheet, and that is going to be sum. And we will see how does the syntax of all these commands will be there. That sum, average, that is the mean of all the values, count. Number of occurrences happening in a particular data, that will give us count. And there are many options available with count that we will explore. Maximum value, minimum value. These are just a few simple built-in functions which are available. Data analysis would mean that curve fitting. So we will see the case studies, and we can always look at linear, but it can be always tried for exponential, polynomials, and many other more forms. An example of some of these, because example will elucidate all these things in a much more better manner, and we will see that how data can be fitted with the simple commands available on these sheets. Other than that, we will be having an overview on SDSS. So before that, we will have hands-on session on part 1 before we move on to part 2. That will be on Sloan Digital Sky Survey. So I minimize this screen and I will be opening a Google Sheet here. And in this Google Sheet, I will be going through some of the things which are available on which I have already created for the purpose of explaining, and that is going to be some of the things are going to be, say, built-in functions. And other than that, we can have a look on an overview, but just a quick look on the overview for the sake of completion. But I'm sure all the participants are already knowing these things before also. So as I explained, we have got file. Under file, we have got share. We can open a new file, and we can open a pre-existing file. We can import. Import is something which we will be requiring. We can make a copy, email, download. Version history tells that sometimes many people are working together, and suppose some last minute change has happened and we would like to know who has done that change. So version history will help us in knowing that, and we can always rename by any name of the desired value. In under the edit, we have got undo, redo, cut, copy, paste. Paste special again also is very important, because sometimes we may have to paste the values. Sometimes we may have to need to paste a formula or a format. So all that can be done by using paste special. In the freeze is also very important command, because suppose a sheet is handling, say, 1000 columns. After you scroll, the first column is having the important information about the names or the details or the first row. So we would like to freeze that, so that after, say, reaching the end part of that particular sheet, we are able to see the first column also, or first row also. So that is basically that is done by freezing. I will also try to show this. Other than that, insert. Insert is also very important command, because we will be inserting a chart which is used for plotting, inserting an image or a drawing, or inserting a function. This can be done either by going to insert and then calling a particular, say, thing which is required, or we can use a symbol. A shortcut symbol for, say, function is this summation sign, or for chart I have already explained. So these things can be utilized for the benefit of applying different formula or creating charts using Google Sheets. In the format, we have got number, bold, all these are like any other editing software, so these can be easily done. And data. Data is something which we may require to, say, sort the data in the ascending and descending order. We may have to create a filter, or we have to create a data validation. All these things can also be done, which we will try to partly see in some of these. Other than that, when we are talking about overview, paste special, I have already explained that we can paste the values, we can paste the format, we can paste all except borders, we can paste all these. So when we go to paste special, we can select the kind of things which we require to paste. Other than that, suppose we are working on these for something attendance or for any other information which we want to keep as a logbook. So we can always color it also according to. Can you see in this case, I have colored in a manner by conditional formatting. If a student is present, that is showing as 1 and with a green sign, and otherwise it is orange. So this can be done automatically. As soon as I put any number into this, I have done the conditional formatting that if I put a number 0, it automatically changes the color of the cell to 0. And if I put here a 1, then it makes it green. If there is a person is a student is there on a medical or any other thing, then in that case I can give a different color for that, and all those things can be easily done using these sheets. We can always keep a record of our salaries or any other logbook, as it can act as a logbook for your any personal activity or anything professional activity. All that record can also be maintained in this. And in the conditional formatting, it is possible that if I have conditioned it like this, that if I put a star to be blue star, then it as soon as I enter B, it should go to B, blue color. And if I am changing this to R, then in that case, the color of the cell is going to be red. I can condition it as per my requirement, and that helps in again coding different kinds of information on a single sheet automatically. We can always go to a particular color and do it manually, but when we are doing it using the conditional formatting, in that case, it will automatically, as soon as we put the number, it will automatically convert it into that particular color. So that again is something which can be done by inserting. We can go to format and we can go to conditional formatting. And here I have done the conditioning that if the text contains B, then do the color of the cell as blue. And if text contains R, then make it to red. So this kind of, we can put another rule also. And in that another rule now is suppose applying to cell B 3 point B32. Is my screen visible? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I'm saying B32, and it means I'm doing for a particular cell. And here are the format rules. It says the options are cell contains a particular text, cell is not empty, cell is empty. According to that, we can put the color of the cell if according to the text which we write in the say in the cell. Like I showed you the case of the attendance. I have done the conditioning that if the cell is having a number 1, make it green, otherwise make it orange. So that in case the input is going to be 0. So all those things can be done in the conditional formatting, which are sometimes, as I told, for automation of data, if we want that a particular data entry, if is there, the color of the cell should change on its own. So that all things can be done using this. Now we move on to the built-in function. In the built-in function, I have now created a table. Table is, suppose my data table is from, every cell has got a number. So here, the cell on which my cursor is there is showing this. I would request everyone to write the address of this cell in the chat so that we work on the hands-on session simultaneously while we are working on it. So please, in the chat, I would request everyone to write the address of the cell which is being highlighted or which is being marked here with this cursor or this empty block here. So may I request everyone? Good, very nice. So happy to see that we are hands-on practice will start now. So everyone should, yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Now is the next thing which we are going to do here. That is to use built-in commands. So built-in commands which can be used here are, say, count blank, count if, sort, gamma. Gamma is a function which is a special function which gives a value. If it is an integral value, it gives the value as n minus 1 factorial. Fact is a function which will give a value factorial of a number. We can always get logarithmic values by using log and exponential. So all this can be done on a given data. So in this case, suppose I want to use a command which tells me the number of entries which are blank, because when we deal with data containing thousands and thousands of entries, in that some of the data may be empty also. Some maybe data may be duplicate also. So there are commands which can be used to actually find out that if the number is having how many number of blanks are there in a given data. And for any command to use, I will start with a very simple command that I want a square of a given number 23. So my cell number is A71. And on the right hand side, I will write equal to SQRT of a given number, and that given number is say 23. So I can use an arrow and I can go backward to the cell required and I can press enter, and I will get the answer as square root of the given number, and that given number is 23. So either I can put the cell on a number on its own if I know it, because sometimes we would like to apply it to a given range, so I need to give the range. Otherwise I can give a command equal to everything which we are evaluating will start with a equal to sign. So equal to SQRT and then bracket, and then we go to that cell by an arrow. So I'm using my arrow key and I'm going to this number 23, which is A71. So either I can put a number A71 on my own, or I can go using an arrow, go to that particular address and make the bracket close, and I get it. Now I would like everyone to use a command count blank. So count blank would be equal to count blank, and then I would be opening the bracket, and suppose I want to go to the range in which I want to measure the count blank. So I want to do it for this table, which is starting from say A15. So I will start and then I will press a shift key and I will keep on entering the range up till the range up till which I want to measure the count blank. And then I will press my enter key. I will close the parenthesis and that will give me 2. It is giving me an answer 2. So let us check whether we are having 2 blanks within this data. So I had started from A15. So one blank is at A23 and another blank is at this point, which is the cell number. So we get the 2 number of blanks here. Is this clear? So where or in which situation we are going to make use of the gamma function. So gamma functions can be used in, say, suppose you are evaluating the value of the gamma function for any other application, or you require it. So this is an inbuilt function which is available with the built-in function of Google Sheets. So one can utilize it according to the requirement. Somebody has written that gamma is a special function which for non-integer value integral from 0 to n minus 1. So for other functions, one has to check that which kind of say values are required and what it is going to give. So you may always try to find out different functionalities, because these are the availabilities. And Siddharth, you are asking what does gamma do? Gamma is a special function which is available when you call special function by the name gamma. So you need to learn from, there is a book by Advanced Mathematics for Engineers and Physicists, and it is a part of a course which is special functions is covered under BSc course in physics and also in mathematics. So you will have to understand that what does a gamma function do. It is integral, as somebody has already written, that it is integral 0 to infinity e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dx, where n is the gamma n which we are evaluating. And Professor Shetty has also answered for this. So please, I think that your queries are solved using these. So this is not basically going to be very specialized, say, for scientific formulae, but some of the basic formulae are given in this. And also there is another sheets also, and please note it that once you learn working on one sheet, these skills are transferable. It means that it is like this. Suppose you are learning Python. At least the logic part remains the same when you switch from Python to any other language. So same way here, when you work on one kind of sheets, then you are able to transfer. But for any software or any Google Sheet or any sorts of sheet, one needs to know the syntax. Syntax would mean that what is the command, how to write the command which will be addressed by or which will be read by the library, which has been written for that particular sheets. Okay, or for that particular software. And another thing, what are the capabilities of that particular sheet? What all it can calculate? So you can always say go to functions, and if you put say a under that function, you will get all the functions, built-in functions, which are starting from a. And same way, the whole list of the built-in function can be noticed. And the same way, if we are able to say utilize it for say counting a particular number, suppose I want to know that how many twos are there in a particular list, or how many entries are there in data from A15 to say A38. So in that case, we can use these two commands, count if. So how does the count if command would work? That equal to, and then I will write count if, then I will put a give a range. That range is suppose starting again from A15 to say A38. This is the range I am giving. So either you can put the A15 as one of the range, and then colon, and then the ending range. And with that, you can always put a comma, and then you can put 5, and you can put enter and press enter. So it says that what does this command do? It will count in the number of fives which are there in the data from A15 to A35. So in this case, one can count the number is 5 is 1, 2, and 3 times it is occurring. Okay, so sometimes we just want plotting of a graph. We want to create columns with some formula and we want to plot that. So there, some people prefer using these kinds of sheets rather than doing a hardcore programming, because programming, some people may not be very comfortable in picking up the programming, howsoever they try, because it is again a practice which will decide that how much you are able to grasp and your interest also. But these sheets are quite easy to work on. As soon as you open a sheet, you start working, and you, if you know the command, if you know the syntax, you can utilize the best of it for data analysis. And that data analysis can be in the form of importing a CSV file or creating a data from any other website, and in basically importing in this. So all that can be easily done in this. Okay. So are there some more question? At the background of it, the coding has already been done on this, and one can see that it can be utilized. And Bharti, you are asking about count blank, to asking me to repeat that. So in that case, I can again repeat that. How does it work? We will write anything which we are trying to evaluate. It will start with a say equal to sign in that particular cell, and then I will write count. Somebody was asking a listing of the all built-in commands. So can you see, if I'm writing COUNT, it is giving me all the commands which are available with this particular say number or a letter which I am writing. So here it is a command countif. So it is a conditional statement, a conditional count across a range. And same way I can write count blank also. So count blank gives me the number of empty values. So I will write equal to count blank, BLANK, followed by a bracket, and then the range. So our range was A15. It was starting from A15 and then a colon, and then up till A38. And then I close this parenthesis, and then I press enter. So I get 2. It means there are 2 blanks. Blanks would mean where no data is there. So when suppose you imagine the situation that you are working with a data of say 10,000 cells. You will not do manually check that how many entries are blank. And in that case, these kind of commands are useful. I assume that I have answered your query. Okay, so one can explore at least, I am giving the assignment alongside. Okay, that assignment you can keep on noting. I will be posting it also today. But those of you who are attending the session, they can always note it down also, that try at least any 10 built-in functions available with Google Sheets. So please note down my first question, that please try, not now, you can try later, and that you can try as many as you want to do in this case, and you can create your own things also. Even it can interface with the Python commands also. So all those things are at the advanced level. Right now we are first trying to understand the basic things, and then we can move on to other things. And our aim today is to learn some commands through which we can basically access the data which is available for astronomy in SDSS. So that is we will focus to our aim alongside, so that we are able to reach that stage part 2 also. And that part 2 is going to be accessing the SDSS data through Google Sheets. And that is the aim of today's actually session. So far so good. I would request everyone to write in the chat yes or no, so that I can then proceed further. If some of you also write, that should be fine. Not everyone is not required, because 201 participants are here. So in that case, even few write, I think that will be fine. And any other query later on, because I can understand you must be working on your mobiles or on laptop, and simultaneously working sometimes may not be possible. So I would request that please note down all your commands very carefully, and you will also be having access to the video later, so you can always go back to these and you can look, and these are self-explanatory. You can also you can always try this later also. Rajeshwaran, the first part is not yet over. We have just worked on the built-in commands, and built-in commands are saying that there are some built-in functions available within the Google Sheets, and that we are trying. And we have right now we have tried few functions, that is count blank. So count blank counts the number of missing entries or no entries within a given data, and any data can be accessed. Suppose I want to see the data, say from A cell number A15 to cell number say A38. So in that case, I will write A15 and colon. Please note this is a colon and then A38. So this is the range which I can cover if I'm basically, and this can be any range which I want to look for a particular command. And in that case, I have given you just some of the built-in commands here, and those built-in commands can be tried, but I have requested everyone to at least try 10 different built-in commands which may be of your use on these Google Sheets. And everyone, I assume, has got a Gmail account. Everyone has got access to a Google Sheet free of cost, and let us utilize it. Okay. Next is charts. So when we are talking about the charts, that would mean that how to plot a data. And how to plot a data using a chart would mean that I need data into columns. So suppose I am putting a data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then on the right hand side, I want to create. So this is my X value. In first column, A column, I have got X values. And on B column, on the B column, I have got Y values, and I'm writing Y is equal to log of X. So when it does log of X, it is log to the base 10. And when it is ln X, then it is log to the base natural base. So in this case, if I'm doing log, so I can do ln X. I can do Y is equal to ln X. So what it will do, I will have to put a command equal to log ln, and then a bracket. And which cell number, please write in the chat, which cell number should I write here? So for taking the log natural of the first value? Please write in the chat so that those who are not able to say catch up, they will also get to know. Right. Okay. A62. Very nice. Thank you so much. Yes. So it is done now. So I will write A62. Am I right? And then I will press enter. So as soon as I do that, can you see? It is asking for autofilling. So it has already recognized that I need log natural. It can be in both ways. It can be, you can try and let me know that whether it is ln has to be in capital or in, because here anything which you ask is can be done in 1 minute, in just no time. Okay. So, but I have written, I can show you, but I have written small ln also. So here it is not case sensitive. So in this case, as soon as I was telling something, so sorry, I just do it again. So here, after I do it again, equal to ln, and then I put in bracket x, okay? And I press enter. Why it is showing an error? Because it does not recognize x. It needs a value, and that value has to be from some cell. So we go back to our original thing, ln, and then A62, and then press enter. So I'm getting a value 0. And then I go to this cell, I do Control C, okay? And wheresoever I want the similar operation to be done, I select those by Shift and arrow key, down arrow key. And then I place Control V. So it gives me the log natural values of all the entries which were there up till A62, A63 to A67. Would someone try this and let me know whether they are on the same page or not? Even if you try 1 or 2 try, that should be all right. That will tell me that everyone is able to do it. We can just drag also. You're right, Rakesh, and we can always do it again here. Suppose in the next value, next column, I am doing log instead of say ln, and then I press the key here. Say I am starting here now from A63. So I am doing log of the cell A63, and I press enter. And then can you see autofilling? It is asking that whether you want to take log of the rest of the values from A64 to A67. And if you press this tick, it will do it automatically for all the values without using anything. So autofill can be, you are right, Control, Shift, and you can use a down key, down arrow key in order to do that. Because basically you have to select the range. Once you select that range, either it can be using the Shift key and the down arrow, or it can be by writing that range, or by just selecting that range and then Control C and Control V can do that. So these are the procedure which I follow, but if you come up with any other also, it should be fine. But practice needs to be done once in order to apply these. Is this point clear? Is it okay to everyone? So I'm deleting now this column, C column. And I will stick to the log natural one. And then I select this X2. Should I wait for someone some of you to try this, or I would request some of you, those who have got, okay, it's working, fine. Thank you so much. So now what we do, we again press Shift key and we select the range. So here I go to X and I put Shift and then arrow key, down arrow key, and then I goes to sideways. So I have selected this range. Okay. And then I go to chart, insert and chart. Can you see that the graph has come? Is the graph visible to everyone? It is giving me y-axis as y is equal to ln x, and x-axis is x, and it is giving me ln x versus x. Is it visible to everyone? Did you try, Jatin? Okay, fine, good. Yes, I can repeat again. So here, what is happening is that we have selected this range, x range and the y range, by pressing a shift and arrow key. Arrow key can hover you around anything. Suppose I want to select any other, say, cell from anywhere to anywhere. These are empty cells, but I am using a shift and a down key. So I can choose any range which I want. So here I am selecting a range A61 to, I am going down using a simultaneously press a shift key and a arrow key. And then by using this, I can go to chart. I go to insert chart. I can delete this chart first. I can delete it and I can redraw it. Please note this step very carefully because it is very important. Insert chart. So this is showing me this chart now. I have got earlier charts also, but only concentrate on this chart, which is here. So here, this chart I have created by plotting the x value versus ln x value. It is giving me title, it is giving me y-axis, it is giving me x-axis. The important thing which we are able to do from here is to go to this panel, this one, and go to I can open this and I can edit the chart. So in the editing, after you press editing the chart, you can see different things on the right hand side. This will happen. You can choose the type of graph. Here it is scatter chart. And you can always do a lot of other things in this. And those lot of other things are, these are the types of graphs which you can choose here. It can be a scattered graph, it can be a line graph, it can be area plots, anything can be done out of this. And other than that, other things which we can do is, again, I go to basically, I can download this chart also. All these things can be tried on. And here, if you go to series, and in that series, if you can see, there go to customize here. So there are two parts on the right hand side. One is setup, another one is customize. If I go to customize and if I go to series, please note down this step. If you go to customize and if you go to series, then in that case, you have to scroll this down. And you can bring it down, further down. So there can be errors in a given data. So error bars can also be taken care of. And I am interested in trend line. So I press trend line. And in trend line, there are different options. Those options are linear, exponential, polynomial, logarithmic, power series, moving average. So you can see the data. If you are doing linear, it is not fitting the data very well because this is a logarithmic data. And in this case, we know that this is going to be a logarithmic data. So again, I go to series and then I go to down, I scroll it down, I go to trend line and I choose a data which is now logarithmic. So can you see that it has given a good fitting to the data? It is showing a logarithmic data is fitting best, and that I can check with a show R square thing. It is showing R square is 1, so it means that it is showing a good correlation. And other than this, it is I can go to label and I can go to use equation. So in use equation, it will give me a equation that is ln x. Y is equal to 0 plus ln x. So this is a fitting for the given data, which can be tried and which can basically be tried by on different kind of data, and we can get the equation also, that which equation is getting fitted here. So again, my second exercise, please note it down. First, I will wait for 2 minutes for everyone to try this. So please take 1 or 2 minutes. Those who are working alongside, they can try it and let me know whether it is working. Then I will give on. Yeah, you can click on the right dots. Here we are not taking error bars. In case we want to take the error bars, then in that case, the data should have the error bars on its own. So it will depend upon whether we are having that kind of a data or not. In some instruments also, when we work, the data is data bar error bars are there. I can understand, Imanshu, it must be difficult to work on phone, but at least you can note down the steps and you can you can be sure that it is working because other students are able to get it, and I am also doing alongside. So you can always do whenever you have a chance to do on your laptop, you can always do it. Okay, is this point clear? Okay, now is the second exercise, that create a series in of 6 data or 7 data and try to calculate 10 minus x cube and do the fitting on this. Okay, so the x-axis is any x data, y is going to be calculate y is equal to 10 minus say x cube. So in order to get the x cube, you have to put this hat and then uh, put the values and to create this, and then you can generate the data here, and then you do the trend setting and fit the equation and try to see what trend setting equation you are getting of the data which you have calculated. Suppose I do it one for you. Suppose I have got here x is 2, and so my y will be equal to 10 minus, and then I can go to the cell number, say A72, and I take cube of that. I hat with 3, and then I press enter. So it is actually 10 minus 2 to the power 3 will be 8. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. So it means we are getting a correct answer. And so I can put more and more data in the A column, and then I can create 10 minus x cube, and then I can create a chart, and then I can also do a trend line on that, and then check whether I'm getting a correct trend line or equation or not. So all these things can be done. First task was to try 10 different built-in functions available on Google Sheet. So I tasked right here, task number 1, try 10 different, say 10 different built-in functions. Built-in means the coding for that is already written for you. There is a keyword like gamma, like sqrt, which you are calling with a proper syntax, and you will get the answer. And you apply on a particular cell and you get the answer. Second is to try plotting a 10 minus x cube of a given data, draw a curve and try trend setting, trend line on that, and get the equation. You can use any other data which you may have on which you want to do any, you want to apply any formula. It can be some trigonometric function also, as log and as exponential. You can always try other trigonometric functions also for physics education, for mathematics, whichever course you are in. You will be having n number of other equations, and you can try to build in, and you can try to use a trend line on that. And trend line, as I show, the options available are linear, exponential, logarithmic, polynomial, or other kinds are also there. So you can try all these things as a practice, and that will be my assignment number 2. Okay, so far so good. Anything? Uh, can you show the formula? Which formula? I can show the formula. This 10 minus x cube 1. This, you can write it like this. The formula is in this next cell. So you can see and check it on the top. I have written 10 minus A72 cube. So it means that we are taking cube of A72 cell and we are doing 10 minus that number. Is this clear? As it will take no time, I hope some of you must have tried this. Okay. Uh, 2 is getting the answer. 2 is the answer. 2. This 2 was our input data, the first A72 cell, and 2, this 2 is the after the formula, because it is 10 minus 2 to the power cube. So that we should get an answer of 2. So same way you can try with other numbers also. Yeah, surely I will sum up all the assignment at the end. No issues in that. I am summing up alongside also, but I will do later also. Not an issue. Actually, we need more time to practice on Google Sheets itself, but that will then, um, for astronomical data, we want to utilize it. So let us now proceed further. Next thing is the data. In data, we can always do sorting. So how to get sorting? If I have got this data, say from A to in the B cell, B3 to say 10, B10, then I can go to data and I can do sort, and I can do sort range also. So I can select a particular data in here and I can do sorting in that, say B cell or any other data. So sort range will sort the B column ascending or descending. So if I'm going from A to Z, that will be one thing. And if I'm going from Z to A, so if I'm doing Z to A, it is in the descending order. And if I go from A to Z, then it is going to be a ascending order. So all this can be done in this. We can create filter also, and we can randomize range. We can remove duplicates in a given data. All these things, all of you can try and let me know in case any problem is being faced in that. And now I will move on to the second part of our for today's talk, because already 1 hour is done now, and that is the second important part which we need to do. So I resume back my slides to introduce to you SDSS, what it does, and what are the things, and how we can use Google Sheets to basically access that data that is through SDSS. Is my screen visible? Is it clear? So I go to present mode again. Okay. So part 2 of the data is SDSS, which is basically Sloan Digital Sky Survey. And this sky survey is being done from the year 1998. So one can imagine for last more than 2 decades, we are getting data from a facility, which is a digital sky survey facility. And in this regard, this is situated at Apache Point Observatory in New Mexico, and the facility looks like this. It is having a telescope aperture of 2.5 meters, and this is releasing data from 1998. It is a multinational, multi-institutional initiative. In release 7, it had data of 14 million, at least 14 million celestial objects. can you guess that in release 18, how much data of only of galaxies it has? You can just write in the chat any guess of the release 18 was done last year, and that trillion somebody has written. So data of the galaxies is 50 million, but there are many other celestial objects which are being mapped through this. In this, the current release, it is mapping a range of celestial objects such as Milky Way mappers and many more, which also includes black hole mappers also. One can go to the website sdss.org, and I will be sharing links when we navigate through different objects which we are going to say do like using this. In the Sky server, it has got different tools. There are navigation tools, there are explore tools, there are search forms. It has got a very good SQL search query base in which one can try to work on trillions of data available, terabytes of data available for quick search. If I know that these are the things which I am searching for, so it can always have through the SQL query, but we can have another session on SQL query if required, because today we are concentrating more on Google Sheets. So let us stick to that only. Otherwise, there can be a full dedicated session on SQL search also. And on all the tools which I am discussing today, I will be only concentrating on one of the tools, that is the navigate tool. So how does it done? What it does? It has got 5 filters. And those 5 filters cover U, G, R, I, Z. What does it mean? These filters collect the data on specified wavelengths which cover UV visible, U means UV visible, green and red are from the visible range, and we have got the infrared that is covered by I and Z ones. So they are specific wavelengths in these all ranges which cover the UV, visible, and IR range. And we all know by now the brightness of an object is called its magnitude, and higher it is, the fainter the object is. And we also know the difference between the absolute and the apparent magnitude. I assume that everyone has done numericals or other kind of material also on this in order to evaluate this. So in this regard, navigation tools will use a sky coordinates of each object, which are specified by RA and declination. These two are in terms of decimal degrees, but one can always utilize, we know the other units also of this, but in this particular case, these two will be utilized. So first I run through this, say, presentation in the second part before we move on to the hands-on practice on this, okay? Okay. So in this regard, navigation tool would mean that if I provide the value input as RA and declination, then in that case, it will give me data. That data will be of, it will tell me the type. Type could be a star, a galaxy. It will tell me that U is equal to a particular value, which is a magnitude here, and at particular wavelength. So these wavelengths, as I told, are covering the UV range, IR, as well as the visible range. So in this regard, exploration of different galaxies. So here one can see if I give this number, then in that case, I can get a galaxy which is 4437, and it is an edge-on spiral galaxy, as can be seen from this figure. If I give another coordinates, then in that case, I have got a galaxy which is basically face-on galaxy number 2967 with these coordinates. And then we can always navigate to stars, star clusters, galaxies, interactions, asteroids, galaxy clusters, and ghost, etc. How to do it? So I will be sharing a reference here, which all of you can open. In the chat, I am going to put this, and we will navigate through different objects which we are going to experience on our own, and we will try to then go to our next activity, which is going to be creating color graph and importing data from SDSS in a worksheet, and that we will be accessing in order to see what kind of information one can get from these kind of graphs which we are going to basically generate. So I go to I'm going to share I'm going to share this link here so that everyone can try. If you can try alongside with me, and you can try to work on this. There are many objects which are non-labeled, which are because of some artifacts also. So those are basically unlabeled objects which can also be seen by it. Okay, so can everyone has got the link here? Can you go to that? Can you open the link? This page, when you will open this link, you will get this kind of a page on which here we have to put the value of the RA and the declination. Okay, and then you will press update. Depending upon the zooming, the scale is per pixel, some unit per pixel. So it can change that scale automatically. Can you see on the left hand side, the scale is changing depending upon the zooming which we are doing. So it automatically does that. And the data which you are getting is that of a, so this rectangle, green square, green say rectangle or a green square will is showing some the value of the RA and the declination. And on the right hand side, can you see that we are getting information that the values of the M that is being obtained by five different wavelengths, that is going to be U, G, R, I, and Z. Is this point clear? Am I clear? Can you try this link and try to see different objects out of this? Yes, okay, nice, very nice. So should we try that galaxy which I showed you, what we need to change in order to view that galaxy? Uh, I go back to my slide and please note down the numbers, or I can write in the chat. Uh, Please try these numbers for RA and declination. This is a galaxy which is 2967 NEG, and please try 145.5072 and 0.333799. Please try this as RA and declination. Should I repeat? 145.50, you can write up to 4 decimal place, 145.5072. So I also put in my, the first number was 145.5072, we can put, and another number was, we can check it again, it was 0.333799. So it was 0.333739, I can put. And then don't forget to press update. Can you see this galaxy? This face-on galaxy? Is it visible to everyone? Are you able to try on your own? Very nice. Okay. So now we go on to the next job, and that is to fetch the data. I will again be giving a third part of the assignment, that will be a list will be sent to you in which you will create a you will create a worksheet that will be imported to the Google Sheets in order to draw a color graph. So in this particular case, how to do that, we will see just now. So whensoever we update a particular event, there is on the right hand side, you will get uh, basically, it will be you can highlight that is explore. If you go to explore, and then another window will open which will give you information about that particular celestial object. So in this particular case, the celestial object is having these values of U, G, R, I, and Z, and with the errors also. That these are the magnitudes, uncertainties in the measurement of these particular magnitudes by in 5 different wavelengths. And in that, you have to press add to notes and then show notes. So show notes, these are all my particular, I have studied all these, I was including all these into my list, but you can always create your own list. Can you see in some of the objects, they are also providing spectrum, and they are providing the Z value, which is basically used for the verification of the Hubble's law. Spectrum can tell more details about the nature of the star or nature of the galaxy, what kind of temperature is there, whether that particular star is going to be a thermal object or not. All these things are also available for some of the say celestial objects, and those can be taken up by students for carrying out projects. They can learn more about these things, because classifications according to HR diagram would also mean the spectrum of that particular star, which is to be considered alongside many other parameters. So these can be is something, because I heard in some of the previous talks, students were asking that how they can get involved with the research projects. So this is the way where research problems can be generated, and those research problems are also available on the website of SDSS. I acknowledge full use of SDSS in this regard, because all the data which I'm utilizing here is from the website, and that can always be referred to or acknowledged when we are working some scientific, when we are working on a scientific problem and we try to explore things. So now important thing would be that this can be downloaded as a CSV file. Is it clear? I have created my own list here, but you can always create your own list, and that I will be telling you that which list to be created. So this can be downloaded as a CSV file. Is it clear? Downwards here. Okay. Okay, Aishwarya. Others can also write to give me a hint that they are. Uh, there is some questions about galaxies, so please refer to the galaxy chart, that how galaxies are named, and then you will get to know about these things in more detail. Okay, so after searching, we have to, Kamal Raj, after searching, we have to go to explore. That is on the right hand side corner of that particular window, which we had opened. And here you will go to add to notes. When you go to explore, this window will open. And then you will go to add to notes. And then in show notes, you will see that particular, say, uh, chart which I just showed a moment ago. In that, the celestial object which are having a spectrum are given with the spectrum. When you click on the spectrum, you will get the spectrum of that particular object, and that is also available in this case. And one can do modeling on these kind of spectrum, what kind of elements are present in that, and what kind of star is this. These people try to decode this spectrum data and try to do that. So we are not just going into that right now. We will be talking about that we can import this, we can upload this to an image list, and we can always download it as a CSV file that can be called in the Google Sheet, which we are talking about, to draw a color diagram. And that color diagram is something I would like to explain for a moment, and then we can proceed further. So here the color diagram is when you see the data in the SDSS, it can look like a red, white, yellow, or blue, but that does not give us the exact temperature of the particular celestial object, because it may depend upon many other factors, and some of those factors may be analyzed for a range of materials, like the range of these objects. So one thing which can be done in this case is to draw color graphs. So color graph provides a comparative study of the colors of the celestial objects at different wavelengths, to know if a star is a thermal source or not. So it also again would need more deliberations, and to find the temperature of the body or of the celestial object in conjunction with the spectrum. And also it gives insights about the age and the temperature of that particular body, and many more other information. So our aim here now is to understand that how we can draw a color graph, because that is also a part of the assignment uh, of uh, of 10 to 12 celestial object. A list will be provided to you, so you will create your own worksheet, and you will then import that into a SDSS, to a Google Sheet, and from there we will be able to basically draw a color diagram. So here I have downloaded that sheet, and then I have imported this here. So in the insert, if you go to file and then you go to import, and then you upload that list by browsing it as a sheet, as a separate sheet, or as a part of any workbook which you are already working on. So this importing will look like this. So this, I have imported this list from that worksheet by downloading that as a CSV file. And after that, how to draw the color diagram. So here we have got 5 different, say, values of U, G, R, I, and Z for all the stars. In this case, I have chosen these to be as stars. So after this, we will make another column by creating G minus R and R minus I on the y-axis. So G minus R will be, in this case, what it will be, equal to G4, because our first entry is G4 minus R minus, what is the second entry? G minus R, that will be minus, you can check it here, G minus R would be equal to G4 minus H4, because my G data is in G column and my R data is in H column. So this will be G4 minus H4, and R minus I would be H4 minus I4. So we will calculate for all these stars which will be given to you, and after that we will draw the graph. So one can see here the blue lines are the graph which are for the G minus R versus R minus I, and one can see that they, up till a certain value, these follow a straight line, and after that there is a deviation. So that one has to pinpoint which one are the deviating from the straight line. This red line is a trend line which has been set on this, and these are red ones are calculated. Red circles have been created by another command. Please note down this command. This command is line st command. When the data is linear, when we are doing a linear fit, then we can use a command equal to line st, and then it is for a straight line, and then I put a range of the x-axis and the y-axis. So in this case, the range of the x and the y-axis are from L4 up till L19, and M4 up till M19. So these are the ranges of the X and the Y, which will go in the parenthesis. And then we will be able to calculate the slope and the intercept from this. So once we have got the slope and the intercept from this, we can do the back calculations. Calculated value is will be nothing but y is equal to mx plus c. So x values are in the column L, and rest m and c we will calculate from the line st command, and we can always do the fitting of the data in the straight line either by a trend line or by using a line st command or by any other method also. You can write, you can employ other methods also in order to fit it into a straight line. And important thing would be to note is that which are going deviating from this line, and that is used for the spectral analysis of different stars, and in conjunction with the spectrum which is given for some of the stars, and many other spectral parameters can be calculated from this color graph. So I think the important part of this I have covered, and now I will move on to Slido, which all of you can join in, and that joining in is by going to join@slido.com and put a code 190. I will request everyone to do that. Yeah, you can try SDSS versions from their website. I have shared the link here. And also there are many old versions are also available. So latest version is 18 version, but you can find a very interesting scientific stuff at others also, other versions also. And many research problems can also be taken from these. So all of you please join in at slido.com with the code 190 in the participation mode. Let me see how many have joined right now. I can see that also. Just a minute. Siddhant has joined, Neha Yadav, Kamal Raj, people are joining. 15 people have joined. So please keep on joining very quickly because it will take 5 to 7 minutes in this. So I would request everyone, we should have an entry of 201 in this. At least 200 people should join in. Thank you so much, those who have joined so quickly. Very nice. Yes, I will take 1 to 2 more minutes for everyone to join in. 88 people have joined, 91. Please join fast. Still many people have to join. So you have to go to slido.com and write a code 190. That is what you need to do. And that will bring you to this page where we can be just select few of the entries which will be given to you for in the form of questions and answers. It is not a test. It is just a reconsolidation of what we have done until now. And that will always be helpful to you. That is what I assume. One 134. Some more can join. 135. So students can keep on joining. We begin it. Should I begin? Okay. Okay, beginning now. The first question is, the absolute magnitude is the magnitude or brightness of a celestial object as seen from 10 parsec from the Earth, 10 megaparsec from the Earth, 10 milliparsec from the Earth, 1 parsec from the Earth. So it has got a timer. So please utilize the time which is already given to you. So please do that. So I think after 1 or 2 questions, it will be all right. So the right answer is, we will get to know the right answers also. Right answer is 10 parsec from the Earth. Next one is, the filters in SDSS covers the wavelength in the range X-ray visible UV, visible UV IR, X-ray visible IR, and radio visible IR. So 116 participants have been able to answer, and the answer is going to be, the correct answer is going to be visible UV and IR. Next question is going to be, the efficiency of the vast data of SDSS is facilitated with the use of AI, SQL database, quantum computing, parallel algorithms. So number has improved. 149 participants have answered. That is, the correct answer is SQL database. Next is, the SDSS telescope is situated at this place and has an aperture of, is the second blank. So the answer is going to be the New Mexico with 2.5 meters. Next question is going to be, the formula for calculating the distance in Google Sheets, where m and m are the apparent and the absolute magnitude of these celestial bodies, is going to be so here the correct answer is the second one. Next one, color diagrams can provide insight about the color of a celestial object at different wavelength. These are to find the age of an object, to find the temperature of a star, and all of the above. Okay, nice. Line ST is used in the Google Sheets to get the value of slope and intercept of a straight line, to know a quadratic fitting parameter, to get parameters of a parabola, and none of the above. So we have got the correct answer by 69% of the participants. That is great. Next one is going to be the second last question. The trend line in Google Sheet can fit the following types: linear, polynomial, logarithmic, all of these. %95 are saying all of these, which is a correct answer. And we go to the last question. The result of the following statement equal to COUNTIF A111 to B116, 12 provides number of appearances of 12 in column A and B. Unfortunately, the last answer is the correct answer. It will have 12 cells. If you will count A11 to B116, it will have 12 number. It will search for 12 number in 12 cells. So that is the correct answer. You can try this also. And we have got Prathamesh Zanane as the winner. Many have got 8 by 9. Nayan, Himanshu, Jatin has got 7 by 9. Maheshji has got 7 by 9. So, congratulations to everyone who has participated. Here, as I'm saying, winning is not important, participation is more important. And with that, I conclude, I come to the end of this session, and that is going to be with the recap that we can utilize Google Sheets for scientific calculation, astronomical one, and there are many built-in functions. There are plotting can be done, fitting can be done using trend line, and then we can go to the website of SDSS and get to know about different stars if we know the RA and the declination, and then we can try to basically draw color graphs. This was one of the assignments which we did today, and that can be seen that what a kind of trend it follows by plotting the color graphs. Color graphs does not only do it for G minus R versus R minus I, it can be done for many other combinations also. And that helps to know about the different parameters about the stars. And third part I am skipping. And then in that case, that was also I had removed it because of the paucity of time, but we can always have it sometime later. And queries, I think majority I have tried to cover alongside, but in case there are more queries, I would be more than happy to answer. With that,
Yeah.
thank you so
We'll,
much. I thank all the organizers for giving me this
we'll just have
opportunity.
one quick poll. We'll just have one quick
Okay.
poll.
Okay. So there will be one quick poll which can be done just now. Thank you.
So the poll is launched. Please answer um, all questions. Yeah, we'll end the poll in 5 seconds. We take this opportunity. Thank you, madam, for conducting this wonderful session, and especially the Google Sheets, because that's one of the very much tool which is available to everyone, and people can use it, and it is relatively simple. You may not have to do a lot of coding things in that, and there are kind of various kinds of features which are available. I mean, it is quite powerful tool. So thank you for exploring that, and of course the showing this site of SDSS, because that is the first time in this particular uh, some winter school that students are accessing data directly from some kind of website. Okay, the earlier sessions were more of prerequisite sessions, and then this is a session where they have really started now towards the data analysis, which is aimed for this particular winter school. So thank you very much for conducting
My
this
pleasure.
session, and we expect you will put more assignment questions on Google Classroom, so
That's
that
right.
students will be able to do practice on that, and their assessment also can be done about their learning. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot for this opportunity. And I think the more practice is done by the students, they will be able to get more hands-on. And I was so happy to see many were working alongside. That was really very encouraging. And that is what we desire out of these kind of workshops, and a lot of work has been done by the organizing team in IIPT, and I'm thankful to everyone for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.